Hello BG, I'm Leo Goldman, and this is your Friday Falcon Sports Report. Now, I know you're not a big touchy-feely emotional guy, but I read those numbers off, and 21 wins away from 700 wins. I mean, those numbers got to do something for you.
Well, I guess what hits me is just we've had a lot of great players.
You set a lot of records in your time here at BG. We won't mention all of them because we'd be here for a long time, but just a couple to mention. You set the school record for points as a freshman, and you started all but one game in your time here at BG. What do those records mean to you looking back?
Looking back, I was surrounded with great teammates. And
last question for you, JB. You've often said that it is important for athletes and for people in your position to use their platform to speak up on issues. You've often talked about the domestic violence issue in the NFL. How important truly is it for people in your position, athletes and coaches, to use the platform that they've been given to talk about social issues?
Social issues are a reality of the day.
I'm in a place right now where the Falcons didn't find themselves a lot in 2017, the end zone. But Datron Guyton and Scotty Miller have a plan to change all that. I sat down with them recently to talk about Falcon football and their expectations for 2018. You guys obviously play the game in two different styles. Datron, you stand at 6'5". Scotty, a little bit of an undersized wide receiver at 5'10". How do you think this plays into your guys' ability to kind of play off each other?
I think we both play fast with speed, which will help.
BGSU football made the long voyage down to Atlanta for an out-of-conference showdown with the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets of the ACC. Both teams came into the game with a record of 1-3, and both in dire need of a win. On the Falcons' first drive, Nate Needham put the orange and brown on the board with a 29-yard field goal to put the Falcons up 3-0.
The kick is away, and it's good.
But the lead for the Falcons would be short-lived. Just over 3 minutes after the field goal, Georgia Tech's Jordan Mason punched in a 9-yard run to put Georgia Tech on top 7-3. Less than 6 minutes later, the Yellow Jackets would strike again, this time on a Taquan Marshall 1-yard QB keep to make it 14-3. The Falcons would strike back quickly, though. Jarrett Doege found Derek Pudavong on a fade route that featured an incredible diving catch by the senior wide receiver.
It is a diving grab and a Bowling Green touchdown. That's Derek Pudavong. What a grab by the senior out of Columbus. And Bowling Green's back on the board here in Atlanta with 11:52 to go first half.
Georgia Tech would then storm down the field, and less than 4 minutes later, Nathan Cottrell earned Tech's third rushing touchdown of the day from 4 yards out. Not to be outdone, Taquan Marshall would cash in his second touchdown of the day from 2 yards out 5 minutes later. At halftime, the score was 28-10, but Coach Jinks remained upbeat and confident. 28-10 at halftime, Coach. What's your message to the team heading into the locker room?
Keep fighting, keep playing. We got to go in. We got to find a way to stop them. Okay, they've had 4 possessions, 4 touchdowns. We got to get a stop, get a turnover, and get the ball back to the offense. And really, I thought in the second quarter we kind of played a little bit too slow. We got to pick the pace back up and keep attacking these guys.
Any positives that you saw in the first half?
Oh, they're battling. We got to continue to do that for 60 minutes.
All right, Coach. Thank you so much.
You got it.
After a 40-yard Taquan Marshall pass to Stephen Dolphus, the Yellow Jackets found themselves on the doorstep of a 25-point lead, and moments later, Jordan Mason would make it 35-10. With 7:44 left in the third, Jerry Howard decided he wanted a touchdown of his own and made it 42-10 on a 5-yard rush, Tech's 5th rushing touchdown of the day. With the game slipping away from the Falcons quickly, quarterback Jarrett Doege took the scoring into his own hands and made reservations for 6 on a 1-yard QB sneak.
Can he squeeze it across the goal line? No signal. Touchdown, BGSU. Jarrett Doege.
Yeah, I think the push from Bryson Denley is what got him in.
Unfortunately, as they did before, Tech answered back with a score of their own when Tobias Oliver took it himself 34 yards to make it 49-17. The Falcons' luck went from bad to worse when a tipped ball at the line fell right into the grateful hands of Henri St. Amour, who collected his first career interception and pick 6. With 3:38 left in the game and the outcome all but decided, Tech decided to add in another touchdown for good measure. Tobias Oliver's second 30-plus yard run resulted in his second touchdown of the day and a 63-17 Georgia Tech lead. After the game, Coach Jinks gave his thoughts on the loss.
We wanted to try to push the tempo a little bit and kind of wear him down because as a one-on-one matchup, we knew that we might have some issues there, but we felt like we could play fast and we can keep them on the field for a while. We might be able to have some success, and early on we were able to do that. But we were 9 of 16 or whatever on third downs the last time I looked. We've got to continue to do those things, and we got to score touchdowns and field goals in the red zone.
The Falcons' next game will be the Battle of I-75 in Toledo on Saturday, October 6th at 3:30 p.m. BG football kicks off in 5 days versus Oregon. I caught up with head coach Mike Jinks on Thursday after practice to talk about his team's preparedness level, Jared Dagey, and more from the Doit. You never been one to shy away from a chance to hype up Jared Dagey. How good has he looked the past few days?
Well, he's been very efficient.
David Konowalski out for the year with an Achilles tear. What's your message been to the rest of the defensive line as far as how to step up and fill that role?
Well, not just the defense line, it's just every position on a football team.
It's been 3 years since the last MAC championship. Tell these fans why they should be excited about the 2018 version of the BGSU Falcons.
Well, I tell you what, we've got a very, very the culture in our locker room.